Welcome back, everyone, to the Section 305 Sports Show. We're doing things very differently, and of course, Nick Dupont is somewhere else. Nick,
Always.
Nick, where are you, buddy? There are so many ballparks in this country, this great American country. What are we doing? Where are we?
Well, I'm at the Twins game today. They play the Marlins later tonight. That's why it's a little dark out. There's no one in the stadium yet. I don't think any of the Marlins fans are showing up. They don't live in Minnesota. I don't think they live anywhere, to be honest. But I tried to get access to the Timberwolves game tonight. They didn't let me go. So I was like, hey man, I asked one of my friends who lives around here. I'm like, hey man, think you can get me access to get into the Twins game at least? He's like, yeah, I got you. So I'm here now. I'm here and I'm excited. Minnesota, it's interesting. It's an interesting place. I won't lie to you.
It is interesting, but I do expect at least one homer from the Marlins, if any. Hopefully, please. They're
That's what we're all expecting. But
yeah,
let's see. Let's see.
they've been banged up. They dealt with some inconsistencies here and there, but we're not here to talk about the Marlins today. We are going to talk into a lot of NBA stuff, a few NHL stuff. But before we do that, Nick, we want to thank our sponsors, Metropol Restaurant. At this hour, Nick, hunger is striking, man. We both work so late at night.
Oh
And for
yeah.
me covering the U, going to Coral Gables, to Hard Rock, going everywhere, it can be tiring. But Metropol Restaurant has opened in Miami, right in Dolphin Mall, and they got the best Puerto Rican and Cuban dishes. Metropol Restaurant at Dolphin Mall. We gotta head there sometime. I know you've been traveling, doing your thing, man. Right now you're in Minnesota, but hey, once you come back down to the 305, maybe we can hit up the
Listen,
spot.
listen, man. I've been telling Raul for the past few episodes now. I miss home and I miss Metropole. I really want some croquetas over there. I'm not gonna lie to you. I want to watch some games, have some croquetas. We'll have some congri de rice. I want to enjoy myself with you guys over there. So I miss being home. I'm excited to come back at some point. Hopefully soon.
Hopefully, very, very soon. But before we get to that, speaking of home, we got to find out where this guy will call his next home. Not just any guy, LeBron James, 23 seasons in the NBA. I mean, obviously, the Lakers did not have enough against OKC. That was not a surprise in any way. DeAndre Ayton got cooked in every game possible. Luke Kennard averaged a fake 20 points in the first two games of the
Stop
playoffs.
it! Stop it! Stop it!
Austin
Stop it!
Reeves
Okay.
was nowhere to be found, and
Listen,
which
the
I
Lakers
which is
shirt is off,
obvious.
Anthony. You can stop trashing them. The Lakers shirt is off. Okay.
I don't care. I'm still going off on this. I mean, listen, I think JJ Redick is a good coach. I think he's a really good basketball mind, but this roster has not worked in his favor. That is 1000% clear. And they got to worry about a few free agents, but especially LeBron. What is he going to do? So that leads me to the first question. Where is the Kings' last kingdom? Because as Nick and I would expect, whatever contract he signs this summer could be his last.
I mean, yeah, 100%. I think everyone has that expectation right now. This is LeBron's final season coming up. A lot of people are thinking and saying now that this is his last year, and a lot of people are very excited for the idea that he could go back to LA. I think a lot of people want to see him retire with the Lakers and be there, but to be honest, man, I think LeBron's tenure is done with them. I think he's tired of the LA lifestyle. I think he wants to go somewhere a lot more cool, a lot more calm, a lot more collected, a team that wants to know how to win. I think he wants to go to Cleveland. I think Cleveland's going to be a great opportunity for him. Go to the team that last drafted him, where he won a championship with. Although it would be fun to see him back in Miami, I have more hopes to see him in Cleveland because, I mean, Cleveland has a little bit of money right now, and they could spend it on LeBron if you know what I mean. Like right now, their starting small forward is Max Strus, and Evan Mobley has disappeared in this playoffs in the entire time. So getting a guy like LeBron that can dictate the floor, and then you have James Harden, maybe you can restructure that contract to bring a little bit more money to LeBron if you want to pay him that much. But yeah, man, I don't know about you, Anthony, but Cleveland seems good to me.
Cleveland might seem good, but would they even have the right pieces around him to contend?
I think so. I mean, you have Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Jarrett Allen. I mean, I don't know if Jarrett Allen would still be there
But
based on
well, we
contract.
got to think about this because some of those guys could be gone to even make space financially for a guy like LeBron.
I mean, of course, but would that leaves a question? Like, would you get rid of a guy like Jarrett Allen for a year of LeBron James?
To be honest, no.
It's fair. I mean, honestly, I'm personally me. I'm doing it. It's LeBron James, the king. Like he's come back. He's coming back home. He won us the championship. We're one piece away. We're one scoring option away. Why not get a guy who knows our system, who knows what to do in the big moments when the lights shine brightest, who knows how to play defense, offense, facilitate, do everything on the court. Personally, I would take LeBron over Jared Allen. I know it sounds crazy, especially how young Jared Allen still is. But you still have Evan Mobley, and then you could just shift LeBron down to the four and run a more small ball approach at that point. Again, I know I just made complaints about Max Strus and whoever else is on that bench. I know Keon Ellis sometimes comes in and plays some small forward a little bit. Doesn't really work out for him since he's a guard. But it's a nicely constructed roster. I think they would have enough on the depth chart, especially with LeBron, to honestly make a move for next year. I don't see how they couldn't. They're making moves right now, especially playing Detroit. Being I think what is the series now 2-2? They tied the series 2-2 if I'm not
It
mistaken.
is 2-2. Yeah.
So I think this could be a really good fit for him. It gets a chance to play with Harden too. So I would love to see that personally.
I don't know if Harden would stay because he's taken a few pay cuts here and there in this late of his career. I think he's annoyed by it. And the fact that he hasn't gotten a ring out of it, I think it makes it more annoying for him. So I'm not too sure about that combo. Me personally, I think he stays in LA. Now, you mentioned obviously they failed to construct this roster around him in a fashion that provides no sustainability.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you trade AD. That was the guy that you came here for, by the way, pretty much. And now you go to Luca. Austin is a free agent, and the money he's demanding, I think, is obnoxious. By the way, I don't think a guy like him should get that much money. I do not believe that. Uh, but they obviously need a big. They need like an upgrade at the big. Like, and if anything, maybe they can work a sign and trade with the Miami Heat. Maybe. I mean, obviously that's where you won your first two championships. You obviously have a lot of history there. 4 years, four straight NBA Finals, the big three. Not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, but even though it was two. Uh, but the Heat do own the 13th pick in this year's lottery. Now, do you sacrifice that for LeBron? Maybe you try to maneuver away from that and trade away other assets, but that would prevent you from giving up a lot. So maybe there's something there that could work out. You know,
I mean,
maybe.
I mean, if you're a Heat fan, you definitely have to be, you definitely have to be excited. You have to definitely be ready for this idea of LeBron getting traded to Miami. The Heat do have some assets that they could be willing to give up. I don't think Khalil Ware would be I don't think he would be even mentioned in that trade package for LeBron James. Just because they really like Khalil supposedly. So I mean, supposedly, but I just as a whole, like you can't give up that size, you can't give up that frame, the way he plays the game. You can't give that up, especially where he's at in his career right now, and LeBron where he's at in his career. If you were to make a trade like that, maybe like some like Jaime Jaquez, Nikola Jovic, the 13th pick, and something else, just to try to make the contract work in that sense. But I wouldn't mind seeing LeBron back in Miami. I think that'd be really exciting. You get LeBron, Bam, and Hero. I don't know how well that would work on the court. I know Norman Powell's going to be a free agent this offseason. I don't think he's going to be returning. So the Heat will have a little bit of cap room and little wiggle room that they can work around. If they don't go the LeBron approach, most likely they're also going to go big because they're another team that struggles when it comes to rebounding and that center depth because they really don't have any center depth. It really makes more, for me, it would make more sense in that scenario. If you did want to talk about sign and trades, maybe LeBron gets traded to Cleveland for Jared Allen. Maybe that is an idea that we could see possibly in the future. You get a guy of maybe just a similar equal value who really just averages a double-double a game, gets some blocks, great defensive impact on the court. It would be fantastic for Luka to have. It would just be basically reuniting Derek Lively and Luka together, like just a lob threat combo. But another talk that I'm surprised that you haven't brought up yet is maybe him possibly going to the Warriors. I think him going to the Warriors can also be mentioned. I know from that look that you just gave me, you're probably like, dude, don't. Why did you even say that? But listen, man,
Oh, God.
who knows? LeBron and Curry, to me that would be fun together. I know there's been talks about Draymond possibly not being a Warrior for the future. I personally don't see it. I think he could step down and maybe take a veteran minimum because we have seen his progression. he's gotten so bad over these past few years, Anthony. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. He's just been so bad. Like he's terrible. And Steph Curry really needs that Robin. And I'm not saying that Jimmy Butler isn't a good Robin for him because Jimmy Butler has been fine. It's just Jimmy Butler isn't the most reliable right now in his career. Jimmy Butler's already older. He just tore his ACL. He's not gonna be He's not gonna be ready for the beginning of next season.
Yeah,
And maybe you can find a way to restructure that contract. I know Jimmy Butler's definitely not going to want to do that, but maybe there's a way you can move some pieces around and just get LeBron in there for a season and be like, hey, like let's go all in. Let's have Curry, who's still playing at his hottest. We have LeBron, who can facilitate him the ball even more to get him more shots, and then we have Jimmy Butler for a defensive impact. And then from there, we just build around our youth. So it could be another fun idea. I don't know how successful it would be, though, to be honest.
I agree with you that Jimmy is obviously not who he was. I can agree on that. I'm real enough to admit on that. But the Warriors bringing back Steve Kerr is going to be their biggest mistake. It's going to be their biggest mistake. They are cursed by their own success. Granted, Steph is obviously obviously still a great talent. He's still a top 10 in this league, but he's getting older too. He's missing time as well. But we're not talking about that though. And he's gone through some lower leg issues, and I don't know. I just don't think he can hold up anymore. I'll say it point blank. I don't think the Warriors are gonna be doing anything significant anytime soon. I don't think they're at any point of threat in the Western Conference or in the NBA in general. Draymond Green is holding them back as well because we'll talk about a backpack as well. He's he's not gonna he is not the Draymond that he once was, where his stats don't show his impact. He has no impact no more. The only impact he has is his fist to a teammate's face.
Yep,
So,
I was actually gonna say I was literally thinking that same thing. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Yeah, so I don't see the Warriors doing anything significant. They'll try. I know they will, but nothing of significance at this point. So I think realistically, LeBron stays in LA. And if he were to go anywhere, I think he would want to go back to the Heat more than Cleveland.
I mean, I can see that. It's Cleveland we're talking about Cleveland, bro. We're talking about Cleveland compared to Miami. I mean, who wouldn't want to go to Miami over Cleveland? That's where you went the first time. That's all I'm saying. That's where you went the first time. So,
You pulling
but
a Joakim Noah.
oh, be quiet. Be quiet. Be quiet. Just
my,
stop.
my boy pulling a Joakim Noah right now.
Don't compare me to Joakim Noah, bro. I mean, hey, that's a depoy, but don't compare me to him, bro. I at least have a free throw shot.
You know what? Fair. I've seen Nick shoot. That man got a good form. So
Listen, bro, I got the sleeper build on me. Everyone looks at me and they're like, "What is this white guy doing on the court?" And then I start shooting. They're like, "Okay, yeah, he can play." So, Joakim Noah, I'm calling you out 1v1.
yeah, I'm clipping that. I'm just saying that point blank. I'm clipping that. All right. Now, speaking of picks, speaking of course, future where players are going, we got to talk about the NBA lottery. On the clock, the Washington Wizards won the NBA lottery. And not surprising given the fact that they've been a horrible team for the past 4 years. They are in need of significant talent. Now, of course, you do get Trae Young, you get Anthony Davis. We'll see if Davis still stays. He could be rerouted during this offseason. And if anything, it could be as soon as the NBA draft because that's when a lot of these trades go into place. I mean, that's when the Giannis deadline is, according to the Bucks owner. So that will be a wash for many Heat fans, including Nick. But we'll see how that goes. Of course, you get Utah number 2, Memphis number 3, Chicago 4, Clippers 5. They kept their pick away from the OKC, which was, if OKC got a top 5 pick in this class, then my gosh, this league would be ruined for years. Brooklyn at 6, Sacramento at 7, Atlanta at 8, Dallas at 9, Milwaukee was 10, Golden State was 11, OKC got 12, Miami gets 13, and 14 goes to Charlotte. So, Nick, this year's class is supposed to be very deep. It's supposed to be a significant class in NBA history. Supposedly. We'll see how it pans out in 3 to 4 to 5 years. But of course, there are some guys who are withdrawing to go back to college because, of course, NIL is a crazy thing in itself.
Yep.
But assuming that some of the top guys stay, Nick, who will the Wizards select?
Well, I'm a Cam Boozer guy, and I think everyone here knows this. I am a
Yeah,
Cam
we,
Boozer
we know
guy.
you're a Cam Boozer guy. The booze.
The Boozers. But listen, man. As much as I love the Boozers, I don't think this is gonna be where he lands. I know he's a number one. He is a number one draft pick. He to me, he's a number one pick. But I just don't see his chemistry and the way he plays the ball meshing well with Anthony Davis and Trae Young on that team. I think a guy like AJ DeBanter or Darren Peterson would be fantastic fits
Ooh,
for the
Peterson.
Washington Wizards. To be honest, because think about it, bro. Like, what have we always thought about when it comes to the Washington Wizards? We thought about guard play. They have Trae Young now. Before they used to have John Wall and Bradley Beal. Why not get Trae Young and some Darren Peterson, who can play some defense, by the way, who we've seen play some defense from time to time, but who can ultimately just score the ball at an elite level, and he can just create his own shot. This guy is a monster, to be honest, and he's incredible, and he can play the four. He may be a little, sorry, not the four. He's a little undersized at the three position, but you can slide him over to three if you need to. But I really like the way that Darren Peterson plays. I think that would be an awesome addition on the offensive end for that team. Devante, I feel like, has more of the full package that you would want in that type of a player to kind of just fit all around scheme wise.
Mhm.
Both do everything offensively, defensively. You can play your role since he's your rookie, and you're going to be focusing on Trae and Anthony Davis moving forward. So you can really just leave him for development, just have him come in, be like a Cooper Flag, I guess you would say, and just be a third scoring option and have him develop being that third scoring option with these guys. So that's me at least. What about you? I mean, I like to think Darren Peterson at one would be pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. As much as I love Boozer, love you Cam, but no, I mean, yeah, I think Peterson
I
could go one or Debanza.
I agree with you. It's AJ really. All signs point to him. Again, a very well-rounded player, and a front court with him, AD, and Alex Sarr would be very unique to see. That's great size. That's great defense potentially. And so I agree with that. But one thing I wanted to mention about Peterson, I feel like he's a candidate to drop. Not outside the lottery, but I think he falls out maybe out of that top 8.
Really?
Here's the thing. There's been concerns all college season about him being dedicated to the game, him being healthy, him potentially load managing as a freshman. He only played in 24 games. And so there's been a lot of questions. These NBA franchises, these scouts, these front office guys, they're going to be very careful about who they take with these lottery picks. Of course, these are the most valuable lottery. These are the most valuable picks in any picks.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot afford to fail. They're gonna uncover everything about your life, including what you did as a baby. So I wonder, do these organizations, are they maybe hesitant to take Peterson despite having a top 5 talent, but not having the availability at Kentucky? What was it? What's it? No, Kansas, Kansas,
Kansas.
Kansas. My bad. At Kansas, could that maybe put off a few teams away from Peterson? I think he could be almost like a Ruben case, where all the talent in the world, but potentially drops because of something that could, affect
Right.
his game.
Of course. And I think a guy like that would fit super well in the Miami Heat system. And as a Heat fan, I feel like I have every right to say that. I would love if Darren Peterson fell to me at 13. You kidding me? I would be crazy. I don't even know what I would be doing. I don't even know what to say just thinking about it right now. That's how excited I am just to think about that. But I I definitely think he has talent. I don't know if it's more of a load management issue. I definitely think he has the talent to even be a top 5 pick in this class because his name has been talked about for so long, and I get there's a lot of negatives to what you just said about the way he thinks about the game and how dedicated he really is. But once players get into this league, I feel like they may take a year or two to adjust all, and that's almost always.
Of
You rookie
course.
year, you either play great. Your sophomore year, you have the sophomore slumps, and then third years where you really start putting everything together. So for me, I think it's a safe pick because yes, he's just raw talent at the moment, but at least you can if he fits your team's system, you can mold that talent into what you want him to be at least.
No, I agree that again he is a top 5 talent, but it's little things like this because of course NIL money, of course a lot transfer portal. There's so much power now to the players in college sports than there was ever before, and And he's responded multiple times like, I've just dealt with injuries. It's just bad luck. It's not me. It's like it's whatever. But I think something like that would like yes, all the talent, but I think something like that where it could just really be his downfall. Not significantly. He's not gonna fall the lottery. Not a chance. But I think when we talk about that top 8 and what these franchises need, and obviously they need availability, and he didn't really show that as a freshman. I feel like if he, not saying he's going to return, but I feel like if he were to return to Kansas and play a sophomore season and actually play, let's say, even at least 35 games, I think that'd be a massive upgrade compared to 24. So I think that it's just that one little thing could really hurt his draft stock. We'll see of course, what happens. And he has the combine interviews with these
Yeah,
teams,
he's gonna have an
workouts.
opportunity to really showcase himself.
Yeah, he will 1,000%. I just feel like that number, that 24 number of games played in college basketball, I think that could really hurt his chances
Could be something
moving
similar to
forward.
Anthony Richardson. Could be something similar to Anthony Richardson, where since AR only played 13 NFL games, maybe PU teams are hesitating because they're like, oh my God, he's only played 24 games. Maybe something like that. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe,
I'm just thinking about it right now. I'm just thinking about it.
maybe, but also just want to point this out, Nick. Cam Boozer reportedly met with Washington.
Listen, I wouldn't doubt if he goes number 1. I just don't like the fit for him. I would love it personally if he would end up on a team like the Bulls. I think the Bulls would be awesome for him. Him and
What?
Matas Buzuelas to really grow. Listen, I understand it's crazy to think that Cam Boozer can drop to 4, but you never know, especially in the drafts. You never know what teams really like, what they want. So he's to me, if he's not the number 1 pick, Utah's going to snag him because Utah, that's another place where he can really grow and shine. I don't know how well he'll do, especially because the amount of wing play that they already have. They already have Ace Bailey now, and they just have an oversized lineup. But I would like to see him fall to 4 to the Bulls. I'm not gonna lie, if that is a possibility that I can have, follow in his father's footsteps, ball out with Matas Buzuelas and Josh Giddey, start really growing that Chicago Bulls core. I know you're looking at me like, dude, what is this guy doing today? But that's just how I'm feeling, man. I'm feeling a little out there. I really am. So I would like to see Cam fall to 4. I would love to see him go 1 because again, played ball with him. But for the most part, I think for team fit and for future, I think the Bulls would be his best spot.
I wouldn't wish him that on my worst enemy.
So you'd rather wish the Wizards? Got you.
I know. No. If anything, Utah I think would be perfect because
I
they're
agree.
Because here's the thing, I don't believe they're gonna hold on to guys like Lauri Markkanen and Jaren Jackson Jr. Those, for the very right price, those guys are gone in an instant. Utah has been collecting draft picks for at least a good 4 to 5 years by now.
Well, who knows?
So
Maybe because of that. I know Giannis has been a talk for a while, but maybe we could see the team like the Utah Jazz trying to make a move for Giannis. Maybe they can
not a
use a full draft pick.
not a
You don't think so?
chance.
You don't think so? Trade Lauri
Giannis,
Markkanen some draft capital, give him just a
you,
whole new restart.
Nick, you got to think that Giannis has all the leverage in the world right now because he has only one more year left on this deal.
You see, this is why. I mean, listen, I appreciate the fact that players have power, but bro, like when I see an NBA team have so much value to trade for people and to do things, and they can't do anything because the player's like, nah, I don't want to go there. It's like, come on, bro, like just go, just go, help your team out, help the Bucks out a little bit, give them some more value, give them some more picks, give them something, bro.
The Bucks are gonna want picks, which is why I actually feel like, and I'm going to talk about this more on my other show for Roundtable Heatwave, is the Heat have a 13th pick. If a franchise were to get 2 lottery picks, even late in this year's draft, that is one heck of a way to restart your rebuild. So that does give the Heat a bit more flexibility in terms of assets. So I'm just saying that's a lookout, but I don't know about Canada Chicago. To me, that's like the most dysfunctional franchise of today's
It
NBA.
is pretty dysfunctional. I won't lie. But come on, man. You don't think it'd be a little fun watching Matas Buzuelas play with Cam and just them get all the possessions and all the touches?
No, because
Wow.
would it be a great
You're not
buzz?
fun.
Would it be a great buzz? Yes, absolutely. But I would not trust Chicago to develop Cam into what he could be.
You're not fun. You're not fun.
I'm not fun.
You like to think logically. I'm trying to think outside of the box this episode.
That is what happens when you have a journalistic mind.
I
You
mean, that
it
is true. Come on now.
it
And
gets
I'm sorry to cut you off, Anthony, but you know where
go
I
ahead.
like to think outside the box the most?
What's up? What's up? Talk to me.
It's at Metropol Restaurant, dude. It just opened up inside Dolphin Mall, and it's basically a cheat code for amazing Puerto Rican and Cuban food. Like Anthony, when I go there, dude, I every time I go, I always question myself on what I want, how I want it, what's gonna be the next option, what's gonna be there for me, and I always get the same thing at the end of the day. Why? Because I love it so much. But I always question myself because I always see so much good food there, and I'm talking the porks, the congri rice, the mofongo, the fried pork, like just all of it, all of it. I love that food. I just wish I could eat it all day. I can't though. I can't. But thank you, Metropole, for sponsoring us. We love you here. I just miss being back home. Sorry for that weird little segue into
Now
the
you're good, but
sponsors.
I
But
want to stick with the lottery just a little bit longer before we head over to our final topic.
oh, you're good. Here,
Just
keep talking. I just cut myself
yeah,
on one of these
like
fences in the
just
park. I was
out of
messing with
all
the
'cause out of
equipment.
all these teams, yeah, you're good. But I do want to say, Nick, out of all these teams, there are a few good candidates that could look to really make a trade and get just again a star. We're talking about, I would say, Atlanta, given the surges that they had this season after the trade deadline, getting CJ McCollum and a bunch of other guys. Like they really took a surge. Obviously, Zachary Ricochet has not panned out as a number one overall pick. That has been
At all. Not even close. He's nothing near a number one pick that we've ever seen before.
no. And then you look at Dallas. Well, I feel like they could stay, but they could get some other intriguing pieces if they trade this pick. Golden State, of course, they want to desperately hang on to Steph Curry. We'll see how that goes. Oklahoma could really look to move that pick and maybe get something out of that, just because we all know Sam Presti, man. He is one genius in today's NBA. And of course, the Miami Heat, we know what they want. They want
Well,
very
Giannis.
much. They want one guy. They want the guy on the market. So, just who do you think out of these teams are the most to make a trade?
I mean, Miami's definitely going to put their offers out there. I think that's safe to say. Miami's
Yeah,
going to throw out everything, for Giannis. So I don't really want to talk about them because we can talk about that for ages and what they can do. So I want to talk about the Atlanta Hawks because I feel like that's another team that has a lot of value that they can offer Milwaukee. You know, a lot of young players, like you said, Ricochet hasn't really worked out for them, but maybe he needs a new system where he can just kind of grow and just flourish in his own way. Maybe that Milwaukee's the right place for them. Maybe some draft capital on top of that would help. Jalen Johnson would definitely need someone outside of CJ McCollum to help him out on the floor because this guy cannot do everything by himself. CJ McCollum was putting up 30 a game. I saw flashbacks of prime CJ McCollum with freaking Damian Lillard, dude. It was wild. And that just can't happen. That cannot happen for your team where your 34-year-old is somehow your best player and Jalen Johnson is tired because he's locking down everybody and doing everything that he can just to get buckets. So I would really like to see that. I would really like to see them make a run for Giannis, to be honest with you. I really think they would have a good shot at him.
you know what? Since we were just talking about Peterson, I think Atlanta will be a really good spot for him.
Peterson and Giannis, maybe?
No,
If they don't find a way to trade that, oh, come on, bro. Just
no,
outside the box.
bro, no, 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 no,
Now you're right. Now I'm just getting crazy.
no. But I would like Peterson because you could start him or even have him come off the bench when the Nikhil Alexander Walker, of course, that whole thing going on. Imagine a backcourt of Nikhil and Darren Peterson.
That would be nice. That would be
That
really
is
nice. I'm not gonna lie.
that is a defensive combo right there.
Yep. And then you could have, if you want to keep McCollum around, get him on the veteran minimum, if anything, or restructure his contract, put him on the bench, or just have him start in some games in big moments that you need him to for that veteran presence.
Hey, he came off the bench for a few games this season with the Hawks. Just saying, it is not out of the question. It is not out of the question. But
Just like my boy Corey Kispert. Come on now. Don't sleep on my boy Corey Kispert. Three ball.
yeah, he had a few couple games. If he just had his
A,
feet
a
under
couple. A couple. Like Luke Kennard, right?
fakest shit ever. Fakest thing I ever saw. Oh my gosh. Laker fans on Twitter were raving about him for like a good 2 weeks. Next thing
He
you
turned
know,
into Klay Thompson for 2 weeks, and then
he
he
turned to
died.
Klay Thompson for 2 games. Only 2 games. And then he disappeared. Oh my gosh. But Nick, to end this pretty well timed and short episode, we're gonna go into an area where you
Yeah,
really
I'm honestly surprised how fast we've done this today. Like normally we take our time, we set it, but
Yeah.
no, we're just about business today. I like it.
Yeah, we're about business today. You already know. And I've been going all over Miami with and everything. So I'm going all over the place. But we're gonna enter an area that you are the expert of. And that's some hockey. Now we're gonna talk about specifically the Buffalo Sabres and the Montreal Canadiens, as the series is currently at 2-2 ahead of Thursday's game 5. By the time that we upload this, it will be today. So this is going to be a pivotal game 5. Of course, in every sports league, when a series tied 2-2, game 5 is arguably the deciding factor in these series. So Nick, can the Buffalo Sabres surpass the competition and take the Stanley Cup?
Definitely going to be it's definitely going to be a challenge for them. They're climbing Everest at this point. I feel like this is a team that's the number one team in their division. They're incredible. But we've seen moments of struggle, especially with this Montreal Canadiens team. Cole Caulfield specifically, I want to point out, has not been there for the Canadiens whatsoever, and he's been one of their biggest pieces throughout the entire season. And yet he shows up in the games where they're not doing much. So I need to just call out Cole Caulfield there for him, and I need to see more out of him. But for the most part, man, Buffalo, they've been doing what I expect from them. Tage Thompson has been leading the way with them, 11 points. He's been fantastic for this series. I'm really excited to see what he keeps doing. I really think I really think they can beat this Canadiens team, man. This Canadiens team is sneaky. They're quick too, and they can get some crazy shots on net. I won't lie to you. Like I've seen some crazy saves this year from Buffalo, but come on, man. Like you just got to close this out already. In my opinion, this should have been a 4-1 series for Buffalo. Buffalo really needs to close this out. Once they hit Carolina, I do think that's going to go to 7, and I think Buffalo can take that. Once we get to the Stanley Cup, I don't see it, man. I don't know if Buffalo has what it takes to get past Colorado, because Colorado is whooping my team, was whooping my dark horse right now in Minnesota, and Minnesota's been playing every second like they're about to die, but they can't do anything because Colorado's so good. So Buffalo, Tage Thompson, you're incredible. I just don't know if you're going to get past Nathan McKinnon, to be honest, or Cale Makar, because those two have been unstoppable for so long in this league. And another guy I really need to call out as well is Peyton Krebs. Where have you been? Where have you been, Peyton Krebs? I've shouted you out for so long, and I've been super high on you this entire playoff run. Where have you been? You were there for the first few series. Sorry, for the first part of the series. You got me messing up my words, Peyton Krebs. You got me messing up my words. I'm excited for you. I don't want to curse you out. I'm not trying to do any of that. I'm just trying to be nice and polite about it. But you got to step up, man. They need you to close out this series. Peyton Krebs is supposed to be that guy for them coming off the bench in that second, third line, and he hasn't been there impacting them the way he should. Yes, they've been getting other assets coming off, like Alex Tuch, who's been all right as a forward. But again, man, this all stems back to Tage Thompson. This is his team. He's ready to go. Josh Doan has been making some big had some big moments too, with 2 assists last game, and Zach Benson with the other goal. So I really like the pieces that they have. I do think it's going to be a struggle for them moving forward against Carolina. If they can get past Carolina, I don't think they're going to beat the team out of the West, because Anaheim's on a roll. Vegas is on a roll. Like all these teams in the West are playing hot hockey right now. And even Anaheim is down 2-3, and I still have more faith in them right now.
You are sounding like every Lakers fan about DeAndre Ayton.
No, trust me, bro. I was a Lakers fan for 3 weeks, so I don't want to talk about DeAndre Ayton. I don't want to talk about DeAndre Ayton.
Oh my God. Now let me ask you this, Nick, because again, this is more so your area than it is mine. I try to keep my tabs here and there, but it can be difficult at times. Because the Florida Panthers are not in this year's playoffs, so did that make the Eastern Conference more wide open that anyone can win it?
I mean, I definitely, the Eastern Conference, I feel like has been in the best place it's been for a very long time now. I think it's more competitive than ever. I think it's more competitive actually than when the Panthers were in these playoff runs. Yes, we played teams like the Rangers, Carolina, back-to-back years. Carolina's been the same team for years, so they're always going to be great. But now you have rising teams like Buffalo and Philly making strides to making some moves to really trying to get to that next level. I definitely think for the Panthers it's going to be a struggle. I still think they have not three-peat, but I still think they can get their 3rd ring in 5 years.
Yeah.
But that the East is dangerous, man. Like it's scary, Like I think there are only 2 teams total in the East that had below 500 records this year, which is unheard of almost. Yeah. So it's definitely going to be a mountain climb next year.
Now
Now that I think about it, it's crazy.
Now, when the Panthers did face Carolina, obviously the Panthers were the more physical team, they were the more dominant team. Do you think that I know we're talking about Buffalo, but do you think because again the Panthers are not in this dance, do you think that this is the shot for those Hurricanes in North Carolina?
I mean, it better be. This is what they've been expecting for all these years. I think this is what NHL fans have been expecting for Carolina all these years. Like, wow, Florida's not in. And you know what they said about Edmonton too? Wow, Florida's not in. But look what happened to Edmonton. Round one exit. I think this is going to be the exact same thing for Carolina. I think they're going to run into the same situation as they did with Florida. They're going to walk right into those conference finals, have the mindset of we never been swept by these guys. We've never even played these guys before. Actually, like who are these guys? Like we don't know. We're the best. Like we could do anything. And they're going to fumble again. It's going to be the same thing again for them because again, this is what they do every year. They're chokers. Sebastian Aho's a notorious choker. I'm sorry, Jordan Staal choker, and then you lose Brett Burns. Brett Burns, one of your core pieces on the defensive side. Yes, he's in Carolina now, balling out, and you guys are balling out without him. But it's gonna bite you. It's gonna bite you, Carolina. I'm letting you know right now. Now having Brett Burns back there is gonna bite you. Trust me.
These playoffs are going to be more interesting. But Nick, before we go, I got to give you some breaking news.
Oh shit. Okay.
Devon Agent has agreed to a 4-year extension, 68 million, 32 guaranteed.
Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. I knew I wore my Dolphins hoodie a good day today. Thank the Lord.
Yes, sir, buddy.
Oh my God, Anthony, I've been so tired these past few days. That was some of the best news I've heard in these past few days. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Oh man, thank the Lord. At least we have him for the rebuild. I'll take it. I don't know if I'm gonna buy an HN jersey. I'm still waiting on the Tua jersey to come in. But I'm. Oh, you think I'm joking? You thought I was joking? No. I'm a Falcon. I'm a Dolphin and a Falcon for next year. Okay, that's what it is. That's what it is.
And I'm on the Giants side of it, so yeah. Oh my!
Stay over there. Stay over there. I'll see you. I'll see you in the playoffs. So I'll be in the playoffs. You won't.
Third highest running back in the league.
Deserved. Every single dollar deserved. He's the fastest, most elusive, and probably one of the most dynamic players in the field at any time that you give. When you give him the ball, he can do anything with it. I mean, listen, man, he's a top 3 running back. He's a top 3 to 5 running back in this league. I don't know if he's better than Saquon, but this guy's
yet.
up there.
He could get there.
He deserves the money, though. He deserves the money, bro. Like the development that we've seen him take to get to where he's at right now, I don't see why he doesn't deserve it, to be honest. And we don't have the most money actually we have like no money right now in the NFL. But I'm glad the money's going to something or someone who's going to progress his team moving forward, rather than someone who just keeps us in the same place for 5 years. No shots at Tua. Love you, Tua.
Listen,
what about you, man?
Devon, the Dolphins were never looking to trade Devon. They were looking to do this all along. So at least we know that was always the plan. They get it done because it could have got messy. Saquon, I wouldn't say he's there yet, but he could get there if you give him a damn O-line, then yes. But we'll see how it gets there when we get there. But I'm happy that my boy Nick gets some good Dolphins news in today before we close out this show.
Oh, my arms are going.
And man, like again, these next few weeks is gonna be a bit quiet when it comes to the sports because not much is happening. But once the noise comes in, trust me, we are all over it. My name is Anthony Aguirre, Nick Dupont, Section 305. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see y'all next time. Scuba.